Let's shift gears. We'll talk a little crypto, guys, and specifically CRO coin. Move over Doge, maybe? Move over Shiba Inu, maybe? Is there a new kid in town? Let's talk about CRO, Crypto.com. Their coin making all kinds of moves over the past couple of weeks. We'll give you a few pieces of information here to kind of carry forward into the next couple of weeks here when it comes to what could, potentially transpire here, guys, with CRO coin.
Yeah, so I mean, we can reference a couple of articles because I think the one, you guys know I'm a sports head, right? Everyone knows that I'm kind of into athletics, and I think one of the things that you notice first is you might remember, and I'm going to call it the Staples Center for a very long time, but yeah, Crypto.com Arena. That is what the Staples Center we are now supposed to call it, and that's a big 20-year partnership they're going to do. And this drew a lot of attention to CRO, which is the actual Crypto.com token. And at the end of the day, you are seeing a little bit of a pullback. What ends up happening here, because obviously that's a big news event, right? And I think obviously you're going to get a lot of press, because of that. But what ends up happening is you get a sharp pullback on what was already a booming stock. So it's a great headline. Just understand that a lot of the press that they just got because of that naming has sort of come off a little bit. And then you have the other context, of course, today a sharp pullback in cryptocurrencies in general, which can provide some buying opportunities, certainly. But they are doing a lot here, right? Like essentially they're trying to expand cryptocurrency projects, and there's a lot going on for CRO here. And certainly, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for this one to grow. It's just we're coming off a major catalyst, and then the timing of that catalyst, like this pullback. Every pullback that was technical has been exacerbated by the action that you saw today in the overall market, in Bitcoin and Ethereum in general. But CRO, I have it up here on just CoinMarketCap, so you can quickly look at it. But that Staples Center news, I kind of feel like what's happened is the wind has come out of those sails, because that's one of those events that puts it into the mainstream. And that's usually a point at which it starts to sell off a little bit, Arun. Anytime you get that kind of a mainstream push, it doesn't usually last more than a few days in the price.
Yeah, so you have the naming, which brings it to everyone's attention, because all of a sudden you go from Staples Center, which everyone knows, to all of a sudden Crypto.com. It's like, what's Crypto.com? I can imagine the site traffic that was getting as people were looking into it. It's like, because you've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. It's all brand new. And then you look into it, and then you see that apart from just getting the naming rights, there's also the Kronos ecosystem that was built as well. That's also something that helps their case. In this case, Kronos ecosystem is like a platform that helps kind of scale up everything related to their transactions. And guess who's a native coin for that ecosystem? It's CRO. So you get that, you combine that with the naming rights, and you get a nice little move. And I'm just going to pull up a chart now. He pulled it up on CoinMarketCap. I pulled it up on CoinGecko. They're going to be the same chart. I'm just going to zoom in here. I think it's using TradingView's platform anyways. I'm just going to zoom back, and I want to see. It's been somewhat sideways for the most part, around that 18 to 20 cent range, and then you get this news, you see the volume spike as well. And the reason I do it like this when I look at a chart as well, because I don't care what the individual bars are saying, I do want to see what the trajectory of this looks like. And you can see that there was a little hesitation around 45 and then 50, and then looks like we came as low as 66 or 67 before we took off to almost $1. And now you see that aggressive move back down, but you're hitting support points on the way down, right? If this is a coin that makes sense and you look far enough, because if they're putting a 20-year naming right on an arena, I would imagine you got to look that far out. Does this coin have a future? And you look at it like, where are the support points? Where has there been previous resistance and support? You look at that 50 marker, you look at that 66 marker where it's bouncing off of right now, and of course that $1 round area, which I'm sure everybody's looking at, because once you cross that threshold, it's a brand new game, right? You're in a different arena, figuratively, to kind of play with the big boys at this point. So you see the movement. We started at 20. It's gone as high as 1. Now it's back to support. How do you play this? I would imagine 1 is the next point, or you can look at 50 for support. But for now, it does look like it is coming off aggressive. Just kind of the acceleration has slowed down, like Neil mentioned. So at this point, you do have to kind of technically trade this coin.
And one point, sorry, not to interrupt there, but one point that we should make is, as you sort of mentioned, some of what they do offer. And at the beginning, Brennan, I know you said, is it the next Dogecoin? And I think what separates it, at least a little bit here, and anybody can go to Investopedia and check out a little bit or learn about it in other ways, but there is one point that they make in their cons, and they say higher fees unless you hold or use CRO. Now understand that actually gives, in some ways, that gives the token a little bit more value, right? So, in that particular case, there is a use case implicitly within the platform for CRO itself to have a little more value. So I think that's one of those points that you can see that in both ways. I understand the higher fees is going to make it a bit of a con, but it then makes it a bit of a pro for the token itself, Brendo.
Yeah, the Ethereum-based virtual aspect, or virtual machine aspect, was pretty interesting as well. So yeah, lots of possibly profitable, anyways, catalysts for CRO. We will keep an eye on it going forward from here.